Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast Summer House Edition. We're back for the premiere of Season 9.
Wild.
I kind of miss doing episodes. Like, I miss watching an episode and then being like, I can't wait to talk about this specific thing.
That's the thing.
Taking notes.
I miss talking about the exact same thing and knowing we sat through the exact same episode every single week and are going to either like agree or disagree.
And was it just me? But I was like kind of excited for summer. I was like, I always feel like I'm going to summer too. And it's cold and rainy and gross out. And I was like, first day of summer.
This was especially helpful because in Chicago it rained or it snowed so much yesterday that I really needed the warmth of the Hamptons.
Like we were going to the house with our friends. Like these are our friends.
We were going with our friends.
What room are we in?
Okay, wait. What room would you pick?
Are we sharing or do we get our own rooms?
If I can get my own room, I will always try to get my own room. But I wouldn't be. I'm truly not to share.
I'm truly a considerate like housemate where I would be like, I'm cool to share if we need. Like I'm surprised that the two newbies got their own rooms. I think that's bullshit. They should be bunked up. So I would say if we're going for the first summer, we need to bunk up, but I would try and get Paige and Sierra's room because it's all the way in the corner away from everyone, so it'll be quiet. But I bet they didn't want that first floor junk.
Absolutely you hear not everyone go first floor. That is I would rather share than be on the first floor.
Totally agree. So, which is maybe why the newbies weren't sharing because everyone's like, take the downstairs. Go for it. Okay, before we get into the rest of the details of the episode, just a little housekeeping. If you're new, welcome. We've been doing this for 5+ years at this point. So if you want to go back and listen to old seasons of Summer House, of Vanderpump Rules, of our show also, we do Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, whatever tickles your fancy, we probably have it. But if you'd also like to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, we have accounts there. We also have a YouTube account and a Patreon. All the links are in our description. I'll tell you a little bit about the Patreon while we're here. So we have 2 tiers. We have the Vanderpump Rules tier, which was the first show we started talking about. So it's near and dear to our hearts. And on that tier, you get any episodes we record early, access to merch. You could join our chats about Bravo thoughts or our book club, and access to any bonus episodes we do. And then we, of course, have our Summer House tier, which is $5 a month. That is the epicenter. It'll never die. This is where we put all of our heart and soul.
It's our foundation now.
So you get everything I talked about in the Vanderpump Rules tier, but also get access to videos if you're curious of what we look like and want to see us talk. That's an option for you. We'll also be doing a Zoom hang once a month. You'll get access to any thoughts on the live episode. So I'll post weekly and you get to give your thoughts and we'll share them on the podcast. And you can pick a topic that maybe we can talk about on our other show, on one of our bonus shows. Just depends on the timing of everything. If you want us to watch a show, a movie, curious to hear us talk about it, that's what tier you need to join and recommend that. But please don't be like weird. Don't make us watch like weird movies and stuff. I mean, we do.
That's what
we
they
watch
get.
TikTok
That's
movies.
So true. We watch a lot of weird things. So
we watch
let's
weird
not
shit.
Say that there's a floor.
As long as it's not scary, I'll do it.
Agreed.
Also, just for the premiere, so I used to read everyone's name on the pot or at the beginning of the show. In one of our tiers for our Patreon. I don't like to do it because I mess up everyone's name, but someone did ask if I could do it. So I'm going to do it for the premiere of Summer House. I'm doing it for our Summer House patrons. This won't happen again. Don't count on it because, man, do I screw up names bad. Okay.
That's
part of the charm. It's our lore. Anyway. Thank you to Ashley, Brittany, Danae, Darby, Dee, Emily, Erica, Erin, Gabriella, Holly Marie, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Jennifer, Kirsten, Katie, Kelly, Kelsey, Kirby, Kimberly, Lady Swamp Witch, Laura, Lauren, Lindsay, Megan, Nicole, Robin, Sammy, Sarah L, Sarah R, Sunny, Tyranny, Tiffany, Tonette, and Tracy. Never again.
Woo,
that's the end.
Good job, you. Thanks to them.
Give them a bigger round of applause because that's the only time we'll be talking. No, it's okay. Great. Let's hop into this episode. I'm excited. We pick up right where we left off at the last year's reunion. It's basically, can Summer House survive this? playoff mom talk,
I was
if
about
you
to
will.
say that really gave like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to
And
survive it.
I mean, we had a broken engagement.
Yep.
An ended wedding, a breakup within the house, one of which was with a new guy who is obviously going to come back because he was a fan favorite. So there's a lot of questions on how this summer is going to go. So let's just go. 2 months after the reunion, we are back. We are on our way to the Hamptons. It is Thursday, July 4th at 11:54 a.m. Sierra is here to pick up Paige, who cannot get her suitcase in the back, but that's okay. She does eventually. She's an independent woman.
Hell yeah.
And then 12:16, Kyle and Amanda are driving down with their car, which is packed. And I was like, what the fuck are they bringing? But I think certain cast members pack for the whole summer and then leave all their stuff there. And certain ones switch out every week.
Kyle and Amanda are notorious for doing this. Like they brought that whole U-Haul during COVID, which was different. They were working from there.
Well, they were there fully.
Yes.
They were there real world style.
But they typically bring majority of their stuff out the first weekend.
Fair. So, Amanda's excited to see her girls. Sierra has been traveling and Paige has been in Italy. Craig was in Italy with her. We now know that they have since broken up, thank God. I always thought Craig gave me a little bit of an ick, but my girl Paige can do what she wants.
I think we came around. It's just like when your friend is dating someone where you're like, not for me, but all in on your relationship if you're happy.
It was more of are you sure? I just wouldn't put them together, It was if you're sure, I'm sure, but are you sure?
At the beginning, I think all of us were excited. We love a crossover, and it had been teased for so long. True. But then you see the cracks, and that's where you're like, are you sure? Something seems a little off here.
Yeah. Okay, so we cut back to Sierra and Paige. Sierra just got back from Scotland where she filmed The Traitors, which we know that she makes it at least halfway. So congrats to Sierra. We don't know how it ends. We're still waiting. But she says Traitors was mentally exhausting and cold, which I didn't think about the weather in Scotland.
Well,
what time they were filming?
They filmed in June this time. So I'm kind of shocked that it was Scotland? So cold. Yeah.
Because they're in the northern hemisphere.
I know, but in the past, they filmed, I think, in February, March. And so that made more sense. I thought it was cold. Way warmer.
Yeah. Weird. But Sierra did tell us that, a little background, she got 30 minutes of phone time every 6 days on The Traitors.
Oh my God.
But you don't have social media, so she just would look at all her text messages and not respond. Which I get, how terrible to respond to a text message, and then if the person you were texting doesn't respond in 30 minutes, you have to wait 6 days.
Yeah, either the moment has passed, or it will have passed by the time you can respond again.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed that I can't just scroll social media. I don't need to engage truly with anybody, but let me get on a burner account and just swipe.
The only thing to do is just call someone, it sounds like, and for 30 minutes be like, what's up?
But with Sierra,
but you can't say anything about...
She's not married, she's not in a relationship or has kids. At a certain point, you call your mom, but what are you supposed to say? You can't talk about the show. After a while, there's only so much to say. I would just want to be brain dead.
Mom would be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, Mom, I can't tell you. How's the show going? I literally can't tell you.
My parents would forget I'm in Scotland every 6 days.
Where are you now? Still trapped in this castle in Scotland. Thanks.
Still here, babe. Still here.
Anyway, Sierra also went to Miami with Jesse, which we saw on social media when it happened, and I was excited about it. I don't know why. These two they give me good vibes. Jesse, though, when they were together, said nothing about Wes. And Sierra still kind of has beef with Wes, just because his head got bigger. I know the reunion, we knocked him down a peg, right? It was very look, we get you don't want to be known as, quote, Sierra's puppet, but you're rude and you would be kind of nothing without her. Your first season wouldn't have been as good if it wasn't for her, because we really fell in love with Wes and Sierra.
The reunion films, I think Sierra immediately goes to Scotland, and so we all saw the aftershocks of his interviews after and that article, and it seems like she had seen none of it until she came back, which that would piss me off.
She's pissed.
30 days later, I get all of it all at the same time.
Yeah. Basically though, Sierra tonight might put her dick on the table and make it clear that Wes is a fucking loser.
Hell yeah.
Which I love the insult of saying someone's a loser. I think it's the funniest thing. Okay, so it's 5-6. We're in the Hamptons with Jesse and Wes. They are the first ones at the house. They still cannot get this door open, which the lure of the door is so funny.
You'd think
they
that
can't work
could
this
fix
door.
This, especially because
that was the first thing too. They were like, will this door open?
But this is also like a rental house year round, I bet. Like that would piss me off as a normal guest too. Like whoever owns this, let's get it fixed.
So I have a question to pose. Wes is in ripped jeans, which I saw it and I went, I don't know how I feel about ripped jeans on a man, but I've never thought about it. I don't think I've ever seen a man in ripped jeans where it's just like one slice through the knee. You know?
They are a bit gaping. West has a very unique style and I think it works for him. I think these jeans work in his style, but if I saw other men in them, it's probably a no 90% of the time.
Maybe that's where I am. Yeah. Okay, just had to ask because I was undecided. But they didn't look bad on Wes, but I was like, putting anyone in these jeans would be kind of crazy.
If somebody held them up, I would be like, what are those?
Yeah, okay, cool. So Wes and Jesse immediately are here to pick rooms, but they're looking at the logistics of it all. So they pose 2 questions. Do they bunk together and they have their own bathroom upstairs? Or do they bunk separately and they have to walk to the bathroom? And Jesse immediately is like, I would rather have my own room and then walk to the bathroom. And Wes is like, okay. And you can tell he's like sad. Okay. But then Jesse questions it and he's like, well, we would have a lot of fun. And Wes is like, we would have tons of giggles. So they decide they're going to room together, which I think for West is a good idea because he's not hooking up in this house. Sierra will put a stop to that. So you might as well room with your best friend. Jesse, though, what if you want to bring a girl back? You're stuck.
But you can always do an away game. Jesse brought, I think, somebody back last season. I think we learned through a lot of seasons that you just away game this stuff.
Wes is also cool. I feel like he would sleep on the couch if needed. He'd be like, all right, I got it.
There's so many rooms. Typically, there's like one empty, or you can just like hop in with a friend.
All right, yeah. But anyway, Jesse is so happy to be here this summer. He is cancer-free. It's time to live, brother, is his exact words. The only sad part now is because him and Wes are sharing a room, they can't jerk off.
Which
they can't J.
You've got your own bathroom. Like, you're fine.
Oh my God. Okay, so they have boys talk. Wes is not excited to see Sierra, but he's excited to kind of get the awkwardness out of the way. So the day after the reunion, we find out that Wes and Sierra went to a bar. And Sierra basically was like, you didn't say anything at the reunion. And Wes was just caught off guard at the reunion. He wasn't prepared, which he did talk about. He was like, I wasn't ready for everything that was going to come at me, which is why you watch shows before you go on them. I could have told you. This is ruthless.
I think your first reunion, you're probably, and he was getting so much attention on both sides that you just don't want to say anything for fear of what is, like, how it's going to sound. I think he was being overly cautious for his brand, which is why he broke up with her. So it tracks.
I know, but Wes knows Sierra's feelings are hurt, and that's valid. And he feels bad. And I went, stop talking. However, my man had to put a butt right in there. And he says he doesn't know how else to break up with someone than to tell them that, like, we're just not meant to be together. And he feels like we should be cool after that. And I was like, look, it's not, boys can't get it, right? It's not that you broke up with her. It's that you broke up with her even though you liked her because you just thought there was something better out there. Like, that's rude.
Yes.
You know, like that.
And then we can, fine. You effed up, we can move on. But it's, you also then expect something from her now that you don't deserve. And she doesn't have to give you, but like, you're going to mope around. I keep seeing on the internet, I don't know if you've seen this like Jack Mack guy crying on the internet. He's like a Australian podcast guy. It's the exact same thing. When somebody denies you something or something ends or whatever, guys still expect kindness from women. Why do I owe you anything afterwards?
Because women are taught to be kind and nice no matter what. But that's changing. We're not here anymore. May I just say, though, there is an American creator also called Jack Mack, and he was confused because he was getting tagged and stuff. That's funny, Lord. Go look that up. Oh my God, hilarious. Anyway, So the boys did hear a rumor that there's going to be a new girl this summer, and she's hot. Ooh. Anyway, so Kyle and Amanda's car we cut to them. We talk about this new friend, Lexi. Lexi is younger. She's mid-20s, which I was like, thank God, bring in these youngins.
We need that.
We want to see it. We want to see it. So it's 5:24 p.m. Lexi's car pulls up. She is a model, and she's here with another girl who I said, who's this girl that shows up? I feel like we should have been aware.
But, okay, so really quickly, when they were filming, both these girls were spotted. I remember posting something on our socials about them.
I remember there's two girls.
Yeah, they'd already been found out. And so I immediately followed them on our socials and stuff. But after this episode, everybody's like, okay, Lexi, we all know Lexi was in all the photos. We know a decent amount about her. But
She's
Bailey
a cast member.
To never be mentioned again.
I liked Bailey. I don't like, I wonder what happened. Like, because she got her own room, so she's supposedly here for the summer.
But there is also another guy coming who hasn't been seen yet. Imral, I think that's how you pronounce it. So
Imral, yeah.
I looked up his socials. He was somewhere else for the 4th of July, so I think he's going to enter like episode 3. But I'm wondering if Bailey backs out after like 2 weekends and just like doesn't want to do this anymore. She sees how it goes,
and she's like, never mind.
I don't know. There's a lot of theories, but I just think that she chooses to not be a part of this. But other people think she's going to be edited around the entire season.
Removed.
I think it's so weird to not even just call her like
unless
a friend
she did something wrong. Yeah, unless she like did something that the cast members were like,
I know, but
Bravo was like, we shouldn't have this person
as like a friend of.
I guess. I don't know. Listen, we'll see. Immediately, Jesse sees Lexi and he goes, wow, you're so pretty. And she goes, wow, you're so tall. And I go, they're going to bang. Immediately, white men love a skinny, pretty white girl. She came through. Anyway, Lexi and Bailey, they're besties and neighbors. Lexi is from Toronto, and Jesse says all girls from Toronto are hot. And Bailey is from Kentucky. And then Wes is like, wait, I love that because I'm from Missouri. And I went, send Bailey my way. I'm from Illinois. I get you.
Dying at West because this is what Midwesterners do. We're like, oh my God, no way you're from Kentucky, which is like a 4-hour drive from me. I'm from a state I could drive from.
The Midwest is crazy because if you're even remotely in a state near me, I'll be like, we're basically neighbors. Whoa. And I could easily tell you how far a drive it is. Yeah, I'd be like, we're only 4.5 hours apart. That's crazy.
Yes. And if I've ever been there,
we've all done the drive.
You're like, oh my God, I've been there like 3 times in my life. And people are like, whoa.
I've been to Lexingburg, Kentucky. And they're like, oh my God, I drove through Kentucky to get to Tennessee. Oh my God. We know. It's very Midwest. I miss Luke. He'd be like, Kentucky.
He would just love it. Woods. He couldn't give there's no way he's driven to Kentucky. But.
Yeah,
But you know what? Never underestimate that man. He would do anything for a fire.
So, great. They do like a house tour, and I'm immediately kind of mad because I'm like, why is it only newbies?
I was mad
Jesse
too.
They're not veterans yet. I don't trust them yet with my show.
I wonder if they're like, let's see how this goes because these 4 could be the future of the show.
I didn't feel any chemistry, like necessarily like show chemistry within these 4. We do find out Lexi and Bailey are like 26, 27. And then Jesse's like, I'm 31. And Lexi goes, purr. Old ass Jesse asked my question, which is that good? Purr?
I listened to it because I was like, is she saying like perf? Like, oh, like that's a good age.
Purr.
No. When Wes was like, oh wow, we are with the younger generation.
Wes literally is 29 and he's like, I'm too old for this. Old ass Jesse going, is that good?
I immediately clocked. We are now in Gen Z territory, and that
was crazy.
Out of my realm here. Like I'm so used to millennials on TV.
Well, we don't say slay anymore. We say purr. I don't know what's happening.
Slay is like new. Like Kyle, I'm on Kyle's spectrum
swag.
Of the millennials
TV. Used to be. We used to go swag. Okay. Anyway, so personally, this is where I said I don't know if I like Lexi right off the bat. I can't relate to her in any way possible so far.
No, I'm on the same page with you. Definitely not with her.
Okay, great. Bailey, I don't know yet because we keep cutting her out of things. So could be, could not be. Okay, so they're outside and then Lexi makes a joke like knock on wood and she knocks on herself and she's like, because my last name's Wood. And then Jesse goes, what's your middle name? And she goes, Diane. And he goes, oh, I thought it might have been gives me. And Wes hides his face and I out loud went, yuck. Jesse just gave me an ick. Like that was to me that was bad.
And then she was like, first time I heard it, and in her interviews, like, I hear it all the time. That would drive me nuts if I was her.
Men are literally not original. That's the bet. Lexi gives me Wood. That's what you think her name might. You think that's going to get her to go, I want to sleep with that guy?
He had me at, like, you look beautiful. Most guys don't say that whenever they hug you. I was like, oh, that was very suave. And here in the backyard, I'm like, shut the fuck up, Jesse. Get off my screen.
The fact that even West was like, oh my God, that was the funniest part for me. Because if that was my friend, my jaw would have dropped and I would have been like, I'm blocking your number. We have to take a break. That was terrible. Anyway.
So bad.
So Lexi says she likes a silly boy with good teeth and a lot of dad jokes. And I went, no dad is making the Wood joke.
No.
That's so weird.
That wasn't, and I don't think she was
fuck boy.
I don't think she was saying that was a dad joke, but I think she was just describing her type.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in for some dad
edited
jokes.
Perfectly.
Not like that.
So finally, Kyle and Amanda are here, and I'm like, oh my God, get me away from this foursome. Let anyone else. Kyle, get in here and bitch about rooms. I'd prefer it at this point. So it's 5:38 p.m. We learn that Lexi and Bailey are Amanda's friends, which I have to say, Amanda brings a lot of new people into the show, and it usually works out well. She's the one that got Paige in here.
Yeah, but I bet like Amanda meets
She did
them.
Paige, Hannah.
I bet Amanda does meet them and make friends with them, but I bet Kyle's the one's like, oh, okay, here's our next person. Like, producer Kyle is on top of it.
I'm sure. But the fact that it's Amanda that's like, hey, I'm sure they're just pimping out women in the sense of like, hey, what about that one? Go talk to her.
Yep.
And we'll see if she works. But yeah, so she met Lexi at an event and then Bailey and Amanda have mutual friends. So she brought them in. I love how they're like not always ever friends. Like I think she also like just met Paige at like an event and was like, come join my house.
Yeah.
And now we have to live with these people. Anyway, so it's 5:47 p.m. and Sierra and Paige are here. And thank God Sierra looks hot because she's about to see her ex, I guess. Let's just qualify him as
they're exes. They are exes. They never put labels on it, but they dated and she met the family. Like, she's in.
Oh, she went to Missouri. You don't take anyone, just anyone to Missouri. Yeah. That's crazy. So Wes is so nervous when he sees her. She walks in and they start doing hugs like, oh my God, hi. And Wes is like, I'll go last. Or Amanda was like, can you be cool? Like, calm down.
Oh my God.
And then he kind of goes in for a hug when he's here, like kind of walks towards him and he's like, hey. And she swats his hand away and gives him a big old pat on the arm and says, how you doing?
I love how she handled
that. Yikes, that was awesome. And Wes cannot leave this room fast enough. He is like, I need a moment of that rejection.
That's embarrassing. My brain would not have worked that fast. Like, I would have wanted to not give him a hug, but it's just like your social normities like get overridden sometimes. That when she swatted that hand, I was like, good for you, girl. Good for you.
I'm really good at this. Like, if I don't want to hug you, I'll make it known. It's not going to be awkward to me. I'll be like, no, thanks. And so Wes and the boys go outside because we need space. And Sierra lets Lexi know that her and Wes are not good because her and Wes ended things. And then he starts running his mouth to the press, like this New York Times article that Wes did, where he basically said shit in the article he never said to Sierra when they met up for drinks.
Which is gross.
The New York Times article was basically, he was like, I want to do my own thing. I want to see other women, blah, blah, blah. But then he also said like, we just weren't soulmates. We weren't meant to be together. So I just ended it. And she was like, what the fuck? Sierra left the reunion, right? And the producer's like, did you think that there would be a chance that you could get back with him? And she's like, I'm not even going to answer that question. And the producer is like, so yes. Which I get it. You can't the hope is the most dangerous part.
Yeah.
I would have hope too. Like if he apologized and like, I'd be like, oh, I don't.
You look stupid either way if you say yes or no. Like if she says no and something does happen, let's say 5 years from now, she looks stupid.
Yeah.
So I would not want to answer this question either. It's like, no comment.
I agree. But good for her, honestly, for just being like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to sit here and look cute. That's the best way. So, we talk about outside with the boys. What's going to happen with Lindsay and Carl? It's like a big question mark because though Wes and Sierra broke up, Carl and Lindsay, this is their second time breaking up in the house.
Yeah.
And they ended a wedding.
That's a thing. That one's a little trickier.
And Lindsay is unforgiving. Even when she forgives you, I don't want to go toe to toe with Lindsay Hubbard. Never in my life.
I think Lindsay and Carl sitting at a dinner table is much more awkward than Sierra and Wes.
Oh, for sure. If you lock Lindsay and Carl in a room at this point, one of them's not coming out alive.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Carl. Carl's dead.
Sierra and Wes could get to a hugging standpoint by the end of summer. I think Lindsay and Carl may be able to look each other in the eyes. Like, that's the playing field we're on.
I agree. So, back inside, the girls are like, this is the summer, we hate the boys. And Lexi's like, except cute boys like Jesse.
I was like, you
not
fucking bitch. Girl. No, this is not the moment. Shut up, you are new here.
Bailey, though, she's like, we could just do girls. And they're like, Lindsay loves to make out with girls. Where is she? Bailey's like, I'm down. Down to fiddle, I think she says, which was so funny. So we have to get the groceries. I just have to put another ick. Paige is like, yo, Jesse, I got you whole milk. And I went, whole milk? The wood joke and then the whole milk?
I don't.
That was crazy.
We didn't learn enough about this man last season. Like, we were all in on West and learning about him. But Jesse, I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Whole milk? I have a crush on this man. Stop making me regret it. Whole milk? Yuck. Anyway, as someone who's lactose intolerant, we're not compatible.
Way too much.
Lindsay and Gabby are here while everyone's like outside getting groceries. So the last time Lindsay was in this kitchen, in this exact house, she was being asked to squeeze Carl a little bit.
Don't remind me of that.
Do you remember when men used to like go to war and now this man is like, squeeze me?
This would be jarring to come back to this house. We know that Lindsay's pregnant. Like, so to be in this house now with somebody else's man's child in your uterus and coming and setting your hands the last place you were before you left this house and you and your ex-fiance were like fighting. Oh,
rough. Well, thank God for all of us that Carl is coming tomorrow. So we get a good 16 hours without him. The boys are trying to be like, oh my God, that's so respectful of him to like give you some space. The girls are silent. And then Lindsay goes, great. Like, don't give a shit.
We don't need to praise him for it.
No, literally. We know he's as scared. He's scared too. He's not doing this like for respect of Lindsay. He's also giving himself a little time to prepare. Yeah. So it's 6:42 p.m. It's time to pick rooms. Jesse and Wes already have their room. Amanda picks that master bedroom, which Paige is like, Kyle's going to hate that. And she's like, are you going to cry, Kyle? Because the lighting. And Kyle's like, no, I'm here to be a good husband this summer. It only took like 7 seasons, but we're here.
Yeah, right.
Lindsay rightfully does not want her old room that she was in last summer. So she grabs a different room. I do really like, so they're all like moving all their stuff. Jesse helps Sierra with her bags and they do a little light flirting of like, is this our summer to like get, and they like put their hands on the luggage together.
It's like, it's such a bit that I can't tell if it's two friends being funny or is there something there between them?
Speculation. I think there is, but they both can't go there because of the West stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like how weird if, like, from Sierra's perspective, if she starts dating Jesse, his friend is Wes, so like she has to kind of be cool with him then. And then from Jesse's perspective, it's like, that was my dude's old girl, and like, you know, but I think they naturally kind of have a chemistry, but they're keeping it friendly because it's just like they can't really go there.
They're walking the perfect
think
line of like flirting and on the friendly side, but like really close to like real flirting.
I think if Wes and Sierra didn't like immediately click, there would have been an open door for Jesse as well. Like I think he probably finds her amazing and attractive because like she is.
Yeah.
And then he's gotten close to her because Wes, Sierra, and Jesse were like a threesome last summer in the sense that they always hung out and did stuff. So I bet like they built a relationship, and then it was like, oh, but you're already
slow burn thing.
Dating him.
When you get to know someone so well, you see all their good qualities. This makes me so mad that Wes and Sierra were together last season because I want this.
I know.
I want this so too. Bad. And it annoys me that Wes and Jesse didn't know each other a year ago. Like, why?
I know.
Why is that getting in the way?
Now they're besties. I think for the plot, who cares? We have literal exes, like ex-fiancés in this house. Who cares if you're dating your best friend's old girl? Like, get on it. Let's see it.
I'm like, give it 2 more years. That's my take.
2 more years? I can't. I want it now. I'm going to start writing fanfic about them. Of what I want to happen. Okay, Paige and Sierra are going to share a room this summer. Gabby takes Lindsay's old room. And then Jesse, Paige, and Sierra have a little kiki in Paige and Sierra's bed. They ask Jesse what he thinks of the new girls. Jesse says Lexi is cute, a bit ditzy, but maybe she's just Canadian. Travis, like, are Canadians known to be ditzy?
Paige commented on a post and was like, no, I meant she's like really nice and kind, like not ditzy. She's just Canadian. She's friendly.
May I give my opinion?
Go for it.
This is we all do it. I'm not saying like I don't do it. I do it less, I would say, than other girls maybe, but I do this. It is a flirt tactic to just act a little ditzy around a man because when you're a straight woman, straight men suck to date and they like to think they're smart and like powerful and they can take care of you. It's not true. We all know we would survive without men, but we act like, can you open this jar of pickles? I'm so, like just to get a little. So she's obviously like, haha, your joke was so funny. It's not. We know. We're just playing into it a little.
That's true.
So yeah, is she acting a bit ditzy? Sure thing. Is she more ditzy than like maybe I would play? Probably. But that just might be her. She seems like a cute, flirty girl. Live it up.
It definitely seems like
on these streets.
A hey, I just met you type of personality. I wonder what she'll be like the second weekend because when
she opens up
too. She's like very like batting her eyes, and it doesn't feel 100% natural, like who she is.
Yes. But then in her interviews, or even when she's talking to Bailey, it's like very normal.
Yes.
And then Jessie comes around and she's like, could you make me a drink?
Yeah.
I think she's also like blinded by how cute he is. She's probably like, I gotta turn the charm on.
Like,
she loves a tall man. Also, Canadians are known to be nicer. Like for example, here's what I thought of. We don't see like Paige immediately being like ditzy to flirt with a guy. But when we see her with Craig, she is a little more like, hi, chicken, how are you? Like, so maybe Paige is like, once she's comfortable with you, she'll kind of play into like the flirting a little more. Maybe Lexi's the opposite. Like, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Paige's personality is not like nice Canadian girl. That could be Lexi. We don't know. Sierra, though, tells Jesse, don't shit where you eat. And Jesse's like, no, I get it. But then he hears Lexi called him cute. And he's like, I'm in love. So they ask if Wes was nervous to get here. And Jesse said no, but he thought everything would be normal. And then Sierra swatted his hand away. And Sierra's like, I just find Wes annoying and a loser. And I really don't care. And I was like, good for you. And then we agree that summer as a group will be great. And summer like individually will be great. And maybe they can like talk at some point, but they're not going to talk now.
There's no need for them to be besties either. Like he has this expectation that they will just go back to what they were before they started hooking up or he started pursuing her. And that's not happening.
Again. No. And you can tell this man does not know what to do. He is like pacing around his room. He's like breathing heavy. He's like,
he really is.
He can't go kiki with the girls. He's just like,
He used to, like, his downtime was spent in Sierra's room last season, where now he can't walk into, like, any room because these are Sierra's friends originally, not his. So what room is she going to be in? Like, her room with Paige? Is she going to be chatting with Amanda and Kyle? Like, where is she going to be? He's like, I just want to avoid it, which, good move.
Stay in your room. So Lindsay and Gabby then have a chat. Lindsay is very nervous. We know it's because she's going to announce her pregnancy, but they, like, don't say anything about it. Lindsay's just like, I'm so nervous. Like, Gabby, you need to call a meeting before dinner to do a toast.
And then I'll about how she's going to tell them. Oh my God, I know. Insane.
And Gabby's like, this is the biggest announcement of your life. And Lindsay's like, I have a whole speech. And I was like, just tell the camera, like, you're pregnant and be done. Tell the cameraman.
Why do we need a speech? I mean, like, I get maybe like a sentence or two,
why?
But a speech?
No, why? So it's 7:03 p.m. We're unpacking. We're getting settled. We're changing her for hibachi dinner tonight. Jesse is so excited to have Lexi here. That is the only place this man's mind is. Yes. He doesn't even know if she's single. And Wes is like, God, you need to calm down. We just walked through the door. We haven't even had a meal in this place yet.
Wild. I did not expect this from Jesse. I knew he would like find her interesting. We saw it in the promo. We like got spoilers of them all summer, like kissing and stuff. But I did not know from the minute that Lexi walked into that house, he was kicking his feet like a beep, beep, beep. Hey, girl.
If you haven't taken a shit in a house yet, it's too soon to have a crush on someone in said house. You need a minute. Give it a minute. So Kyle's setting up his DJ equipment. We know that Kyle has a dream of becoming a DJ. So.
That man he's setting it up on a standing desk. And I was like, shut the fuck up. You were way too into this.
That's Kyle coded. That's hilarious. Paige and Sierra wonder if Lindsay is pissed Carl's coming. And Paige is like, maybe they'll be friends. Like Lindsay has a new guy and maybe like she'll finally say, like, Carl and I were friends for 10 years. Like, let's just get back to it.
Never.
And Sierra literally is like, are you fucking joking? It's like, we still have Lindsay has shown us unequivocally who she is for 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Believe her. Don't expect things that she's not going to deliver. That's why people hate Lindsay. No, fucking, she's not going to be friends with Carl. We know that.
Yeah. I don't think anybody in the audience should be mad either one of them came back. This is their job.
No.
I totally understand there's personal feelings and both of them are valid if they're just like annoyed with each other, but they're both going to be here. They're not going to be besties. Just sit on either sides of the table. We all have that one person in our friend group we're not the closest with and don't need to have one-on-one time.
It's literally going to be fine. If Lindsay and Paige can coexist, Lindsay and Carl will be fine because they'll just ignore each other.
Yeah, and we left the reunion pretty decent, I think.
It was fine. And Lindsay's in a new chapter. She doesn't give a shit about Carl. He's equivalent to the fly running around the living room. She doesn't care.
Girlie is literally strategizing how to tell the house she's pregnant. She is not thinking about Carl.
No. So we all come downstairs. May I just say, Gabby looks hot.
I love Gabby.
Like, wow.
I want more of Gabby this season.
Agreed. So Gabby gathers everyone she's trying to like wrangle everyone into the living room. So Jesse does his angle. He's like, hey, are you girls single? And Lexi's like, I'm single. And then Bailey's like, I'm talking to a guy, but it's not serious, but I have his suitcase this weekend.
With an air tag in it.
That's crazy. That's insane. So everyone gathers into the living room. Lindsay's sitting down. You can tell she's nervous. And then Wes sits down next to her and is like, hey, everyone thinks you're having a baby because of the rumors online. And she's like, oh yeah, I saw that. And he's like, I figured no. And she's like, okay. And so Gabby does like this little mini toast, like, so excited to be back. This is so amazing. And then Lindsay's like, I would also like to do a toast. And immediately I know it's going to be the longest toast of all time.
Okay, well, the other girls also flashbacks. The other girls also are like, "Wow, are we all doing toast here?"
Yeah,
like I didn't prepare much. What are we doing right now?
No, Lindsay does enough for all of us. So, but at least, like I said, the editors give us flashbacks. Yeah, she's like, I've had a journey 8 years ago. I was dating this guy who told me that he slept in a bed with 4 girls and it wasn't cheating. We got like the best flashback of all time of her being like, I'm gonna go sleep in a bed with a guy and like left. And then she at 7:34, she's like, and then I dated this guy Payman, and I went, not Payman.
Why are we
He wasn't even important.
I get being like, I've had 8 years here, you know, and like calling out a few moments. But the fact that she's walking through every guy she dated on the show, I was like, why?
Perryman, we saw that guy for maybe 4 episodes. Maybe. And then at 7:46, so she spent a whole 12 minutes talking about Payman and that year. And then she's like, Carl and I dated the first time. She talks about that for 4 minutes because it's 7:50. She's like, and then I dated this guy who only wanted me to make sandwiches. And then we have Sandwich Gate.
Oh my God.
I'll take a flashback of Sandwich Gate any day. Any day.
That's not what happened though.
I know, which is extra funny. And then at 7:55, she talks about the proposal and the breakup. And I'm like, damn, we went on a ride with Lindsay.
Also,
I don't know how
this is kind of her just roasting herself.
How did Paige not be like, wrap it up? Like, I would have been like, hey.
Over on Vanderpump, Lala, like with the speeches at Katie's like engagement party or whatever it was, like, all right, come on, let's go.
We're done. Can we drink now? Yeah. My God, this was like equivalent to a bad wedding speech where you just have your glass of wine and you're just chugging it and you finish it and you're like, I can't get up and get more.
Lexi and Bailey, you're like, I met this girl 20 minutes ago.
Who the fuck's Payman? Yeah, they were like, Payman sandwich. This is crazy.
It's like, I have to watch this show now.
At 8:02, 28 minutes later, she's like, and now I'm pregnant. And I don't know how people are happy because I'm asleep.
I'm asleep. My God.
Yeah, her ultrasound. But Amanda is so happy for her, which I love. Amanda's like close to tears.
Yeah.
Paige is like, oh my God, I just became an aunt. She's also very happy for Lindsay. Kyle's very happy for her, which I would just like to say in my notes, I wrote down Carl. That's wrong. Kyle is very happy for her. So happy pregnant summer, Lindsay. Amazing. Oh, yeah. We're all happy for you.
I think what sets this show apart from others is these people, Kyle always says it, like, we are actual friends. Like, they have witnessed a horrible moment for 2 of their friends, like a breakup. Like, breaking up an engagement is really hard. But to see Lindsay in such an exciting moment, they will all celebrate her, no matter the terms they're on with her.
I know. Like, even someone who, like, I always bring up the Lindsay and Paige feud because, like, they're my 2 favorites and I hate that they fight. But even the fact that Paige is like, I'm an aunt now, like, you just know they're friends, like, through it.
Yeah.
So I love. Jesse is like, damn, there's a pregnant woman in this house. Which I also, I was like, shit. But then he's like, and then Carl's going to come to this house, right? So we learn Lindsay. What?
Okay, I think a lot of people might judge Jesse for that reaction, but I understand him. Like, the first thought in my brain would be my selfish thoughts about me.
Yeah,
like, this might ruin my summer. I think about this with pregnant women on bachelorettes. Like, you're either going to be really fun and like be able to do this, or you're not.
I think the difference is Lindsay is already like, when she's not pregnant, she's on like notch 12 of fun. She's out and about. So I think she can hold her own. And also Lindsay's not afraid to like separate from the group and just be like, I'm going home.
That's
like,
true.
She doesn't give me complainer. Other people, women I have traveled with would be like, oh, we can't do that because like I'm pregnant.
But Jesse's
Lindsay
known her
will
for a year, and last year was not a good example of Lindsay.
I think he's more freaked out that like, do we need to make accommodations for a pregnant? Like, he doesn't know what's happening.
True. And then I would also go to the fuck. Carl's coming tomorrow. Like, what's gonna happen? I would
be like, yo. Well, then too, I'd be like, for the drama, her hormones are gonna be going crazy. She's gonna rip him to shreds. He's done. So she is 18 weeks, so that's out of the first trimester. So they do the math, and she was pregnant at the reunion, which she tells us, like, if she didn't drink at the reunion, people would be questioning her.
True.
So she poured out a whole bottle of Cristal and then filled it with non-alcoholic champagne.
I don't think it's necessarily just her not drinking, but there were already the rumors flying that somebody on the cast was pregnant.
Yes. So she was like, it's not going to be me. So she did this whole thing, which Gabby isn't mad she lied. Gabby's like, she wasted the Cristal.
I would also be pissed. Like, you didn't have to buy nice shit and pour it out.
This brought me back, though, to Vanderpump Rules season 1, where Stassi drinks all of Jack's Cristal. It's expensive.
At least that was used. Like, at least it was drank.
That's true. So Lindsay shows her little bump. She's not going to tell anyone what she's having. She knows if it's a boy or girl. She won't say anything. Spoiler, because she's already given birth. It's a girl.
Which is so funny because Jesse keeps calling it a boy.
Yeah, he's like, look at the big dick on this thing. And I was like, no,
didn't age
it's a little girl. So Lindsay goes to change her pants because she was in jeans and sucking in. And now she's like, I'm going to go not do that. But at 8:09 p.m., everyone's still downstairs looking at this ultrasound. And Wes is like, what's the baby's last name going to be? And everyone's like, first of all, fuck off. And second of all, go ask Lindsay. Seriously. Why don't you? No, who cares? That's like the least of all of our worries.
I think it's their way of saying like, hey, nobody, like, we don't know who she's dating. She's not like
the dad?
Yeah, that's, I think that's what they're trying to ask without asking.
Oh, I thought it was more like, is it going to be the man's last name or the woman's?
No, I think they doesn't matter. Like, who is this guy? We don't know him.
Sorry, Wes. I judged. But Lindsay calls her new man, which we find out his name is Turner. He's very private. He's not on social media. He's a doctor. He's nerdy, fun, funny. He's a normie. And I get why he doesn't want to be involved. Like, he has a career. He's a doctor. If he's not on social media, he's not looking to make a buck off of this thing.
Especially because he watched the TV version breakup of Carl and Lindsay and, like, basically was dating her through that. I would not want to be, like, involved in that, just in case we do break up.
I do like, though, that he's like, you could say my name. Because we have seen before that people are like, it's just my man, because they can't say names.
Yeah, I'm glad she's
at least Turner's like,
show.
That's fine. But she calls Turner and she's like, hey, I just told everyone. And then I just like posted. And I was like, she posted? She was ready. So at 8:15 p.m., everyone's going out to hibachi. Paige is like, I'm glad I'm not pregnant. And I was like, ditto for me, girl.
You were saying like Lindsay announcing it made me realize I don't want to. I was like, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Sometimes I still go, we're happy about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just need to make sure we're on the page.
Was this an accident?
Were we good? But they see Lindsay posted, and she got that paid partnership, I think, with Clear Blue or whatever it is. And everyone's like, God, she already posted. And Paige is like, I respect that hustle. Get your dime. If you're going to be pregnant anyway.
Yeah. Also,
make money.
I love that she posts. They're just scrolling on their phones, waiting for everybody to come down. And they're like, oh, damn, look at her. She is on it.
You know, she was ready and she just went to her Instagram and went post.
Yeah, I remember seeing this post on the 4th of July and I was like drunk and being like, wow.
Amazing. I know, I was in Italy and I was like, amazing, she did it. Anyway, Jesse and Lexi sit next to each other at hibachi. They both love Japanese food, so I think this is a future love connection.
God.
I love white people going, I love Japanese food. It's my favorite. So Lexi has been in the city on and off for 8 years. She became a model at 10 years old. So she travels a lot. She lived in Paris for a little bit. She describes her first go-see in Paris, which made me laugh because as a watcher of America's Next Top Model, I knew exactly what this looked like. But Lexi did do homeschooling and now she lives in New York. So that's what we know about Lexi.
And for a little bit more, go check out my timeline on our TikTok or Instagram.
Oh, that's right. So Lindsay comes down. The girls in the house are like asking her questions. Do you have a name that you like? And Lindsay's like, we do have a name. And everyone's like, we. So she's like, yeah, me and Turner. And Tier's like, tell us about Turner. So Lindsay tells us that her and Turner met 3.5 years ago, like October, November of 2020. And they went on like 4 dates and then he called it off. And she was like, okay. So he then texted her in December and said, we should run this back. And she was like, are you asking me on a date? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm busy. And she's like, and I was busy at the time.
Loved that response.
But eventually they ended up going out. And then I don't know why the story circulated that she met him at a wedding.
Huh.
Isn't that a story at one point? Or were they just seen at a wedding together?
I bet that they were seen at a wedding. Because they went to a lot of weddings in the fall and into the spring. Like that whole Summer House crew, the OGs, had a lot of weddings together.
Yeah. So Sierra is like, hey, that's pretty soon after your breakup. So she does a little math. Her breakup with Carl was in September, like beginning-ish of September, I think. There was no wedding in November. Okay, so yes, breakup in beginning of September. The wedding was November. That didn't happen. This new guy reaches out in December. She's now in July and 4.5 months pregnant. So basically she got pregnant in February, which is about a month after they started dating.
Yeah.
That's fast for me, but if anyone's gonna get shit done, it's Lindsay, and she wants that timeline done, and she is here to get pregnant.
Lindsay, I think, detailed the full timeline on, I want to say, whatever that not skinny but not fat. I think that's what, I always screw up that title. And she's openly and says the timeline on that, and she was on that podcast after this was all filmed. But I was like, oh, whoa. And she openly says, like, it was all an accident. Like, it all happened very quickly. I can't imagine the shock to the system of finding out and then having to go film that reunion with your ex-fiance. Like, all of that, finding out I'm pregnant in those two things would be chaotic enough. Add in that you've only been dating your boyfriend for like 2 months, maybe. Insane.
It seems though that they were in love, so... Go off, queen. But Sierra's like, how'd she do that? I'm not even over my parents' divorce from 20 years ago. How's she over her ex-fiance? But yeah, so Lindsay reached back out in January. She said they were exclusive. They didn't really like define anything, but they started saying I love you, and now they're here. And I think, isn't there a little rumor that they've broken up?
There is a rumor. Lindsay was on Watch What Happens Live same night as the premiere, and he was in the green room, probably with their baby, I bet. But he was in the green room. And the reason he was in the green room is because if you're in that audience, they have full permission to put you on camera. So he stayed back there. But she said, like, it's tough to be in a relationship and have a child, let alone one that you'd only been dating for, by the time they found out, two months. And so she acknowledged, like, it's a struggle, but that he was there. I bet that they're just going through ups and downs. And anytime something negative comes out about them, like trickles out, anybody's going to say they broke up over it.
I also don't believe they live together. I'm sure they do a lot of time together because of the baby, but I'm sure if anyone sees like them not in the same apartment one night,
that's so true. They don't live together. She calls her apartment like Gemma Ground Zero. Like that's where all the baby stuff is. And that even before she was born, he was there most of the time, but yeah, it's not like all this stuff is going to be in there.
Do you know, are they still engaged? Was she wearing a ring?
I
couldn't see on Watch What Happens Live. Oh, I thought he proposed.
They're just dating.
Well, wreck out. Go off. Anyway, but Carl's going to find out because Lindsay posted, so we all know this is coming. Anyway, Paige is like, now you have to lay in bed with us. And Lindsay's like, I love laying in bed. You could tell she doesn't, but she's like, I have to because I'm pregnant.
I think she knows she's going to need to. So she's like, I can do that for you guys. Like, I think Lindsay's looking forward to meeting them where they are at.
Yeah, if she wasn't pregnant, she'd be out. But she's pregnant, so now she's in a new crew. Lexi, so cut back to Lexi and Jesse. Lexi, this is where you lost me. She starts talking about her horoscope. And she goes, my horoscope today said I was going to eat sushi, drink wine, and kiss someone. Stop. These are all 3 very doable things. I could do all these things today, too, if my horoscope says so or not. I thought your horoscope was more like, play into your energy of being a bad bitch. Good things will happen. Oh, you're going to eat sushi today.
You're going to have a big career transformation this month.
Okay. But this is so this day, okay, my horoscope said I was going to work from home and then go walk a treadmill. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
great.
Things I do often.
Eat sushi and drink wine. I could do that right now. Might after
that
this.
That's in the normal rotation. It's not like you're like, oh, you're gonna eat snails today and kiss the bottom of somebody's foot.
You're gonna go fall in a ditch. What? Also, that's like equivalent to when you get like a what's it called, like a fortune cookie. Yeah. And you think it's gonna be super profound, and it's something like don't walk in rain, and you're like, what? So I don't know what horoscope she's reading, but if that's how she's basing her day,
well.
No,
this is only adding to like our horoscope and like astrology confusion. What are you talking about?
I thought a horoscope was different. I didn't think it was a laundry list of things to check off. Clean your house. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so mad. Anyway, this happened and I literally was like,
Thought of you every time. It's so funny now that like we've had the talk about horoscopes and like astrology. Every time it happens, I'm like, I wonder what Alicia's thinking right now.
Understand? I don't necessarily always like get it when people are like, don't date Gemini men, and like,
yeah.
You have big like male energy. Whatever we're reading, like, fine, whatever. I can get behind the stars and like your sign, fine. Your horoscope told you to drink some wine and kiss a rando? What?
It never said
what
rando.
Horoscope?
It just said you're gonna kiss someone. And then she's like, I wonder if that means, because like I double kiss on the cheek. I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
No. She's reading out of like, remember how we used to like in the, when we were teenagers, there'd be like quizzes in magazines, like, does he like you?
Mm-hmm.
You would like fill it out. That's what kind of horoscope she's reading. It's like straight out of J14. What? And she's like, it says I'm going to kiss someone and eat an exotic food of sushi. What?
This could be a good opening line in a dating app or even in a real life situation. You could just say your horoscope told you something.
My horoscope said I'm going to kill a man. Is it you?
That, I love it. I love it.
What happens when her horoscope says she's going to be pregnant? What does she do then?
She's like, Lindsay, I have your horoscope.
Like, what the hell? Anyway, whatever. My horoscope told me to jump off a bridge. What? I'm so done. Anyway, Lexi lost me at that point. I went, no.
She only had a little bit in the bank, and you were like, we're done now.
Oh my God. I was holding out because she didn't find the wood comment funny. Gives me wood.
She wasn't girl's girl. And now she's on her horoscope doing crazy ass shit. Oh my
God. This was crazy. What horoscope? Anyway. So Lexi and Jesse super flirty at dinner. They have no idea anyone else is even here. Wes is literally like, excuse, no idea.
Imagine this, because they were sitting the tables like structured as if it was at a hibachi restaurant in a little U. And this made me imagine if I went with my friends and there was a couple on a date. This is my nightmare.
Oh, to like sit next to them and watch them like awkwardly flirt. Hear the girl go, my horoscope told me that I'm going to do something super average today. Vomit. Actual vomit.
Oh, God.
I also want to know, where's Bailey? Dude, this is my first night in the house. You're leaving me?
I already forgot about her.
Hibachi? I know. She wasn't even at dinner. Her. So, he asks her, this man is so terrible. He's like, hey, would you describe yourself as ditzy?
I was like, I didn't think you could go lower than the wood comment. Like, what are you doing?
She was like, no. Even he has to know that even if a girl is ditzy, they're not going to describe themselves as such.
Talk about rude.
Excuse me? He's like, I'm not saying you are ditzy. I'm just saying, then what are you saying, sir?
You clearly think I am, so you wonder if I think I am too.
If it's okay to call me ditzy, which is not. Thank you so much.
In his interview, he's like, oh, I like to like go to the line and then cross over a little bit and come back. I was like, no.
No. As experts of us, we love to be mean to people we flirt with. That is why people don't know we like them, because we are just brutal. I would never be like, do you find yourself to be ugly?
Yeah.
What?
Would you also say you're ugly?
Would you also call yourself stupid?
Would you also call yourself short? Like, why are we just insulting?
We're really...
You have to be suave with your, like, flirting insults.
How many people a day tell you you're a moron? Just on average.
I'm just, I'm just taking a little survey here. How many?
Just, if we reverse it, the guys, too, would be like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What?
You have to, like, actually add humor. This isn't funny and, like, crossing over the line in a ooh way. This is... Hey, I think you're really ditzy. Do you think so too?
Yeah, instead, when she says, my horoscope said I'm going to drink wine, eat sushi, and kiss someone, you'd be like, you better find someone to kiss. You know, it's not going to be me. Haha, cute.
That's it. Like,
or like, what the fuck horoscope are you?
There's already been so many moments, I feel like, where Jesse has fucked this up. He's playing it way too fast and trying too hard, so it's not natural, and he's just uncomfortable now.
I mean, Gives Me Wood was crazy, but this, I don't even know. And then at some point, Lex, like, okay, it's 9:29 p.m. Hibachi's over. They start cleaning up. Lexi and Bailey go into the kitchen. And this is when Lexi, like, totally isn't in her, like, ditzy voice. And she's very like, I want Jesse to see that I'm multifaceted. I want him to understand that like I'm not this ditzy girl. And I was like, damn, dude, she's playing him.
Yes.
She's like, I actually don't know how to use chopsticks. And she's over here like a computer science genius or something. And we're like, stop.
Yeah.
So my other favorite part of cleanup was Wes comes over to Sierra. He's like, let me grab your plate. And she's like, no, I got it. So then everyone's like, are we going out? And not even the newbies want to, like, the 20-year-olds. Come on, everyone else is 30. Come on. But
this made me, for the first time, and like this is the only way I'm going to be sad that Lindsay's pregnant, is like she's not going to go out and do these things. And I miss Danielle. Like those two plus the guys used to go out, and I loved it. We need people to go out, but I'm so thankful Gabby does.
Thankful for Gabby, and then the boys obviously are like, we're going to go out too. So it's 10:19 p.m. Kyle and the boys are sending it in with his DJ equipment in the bright lights of the front room. But Kyle does check in with Amanda before he goes, and he's like, hey, it's okay that I'm going out, right? Like, I'm not going to annoy you. And like, never forget 3 years ago when you broke all my shit because I wasn't answering my phone and I was out all night. And Amanda's like, you can go out, just maybe don't be home at 4 a.m. and answer your phone if I call.
It's wild he doesn't get it.
He's like, I've learned from my actions, and a lot of things I did were upsetting for Amanda. So I'm trying to be more respectful. And I was like, 9 years later,
I do
love
think
to see it.
He does understand it's not that she wants to control him or she doesn't want him to go out. I think he realizes when he does stay out too late. But on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked, or at the premiere party before Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked Amanda, had Kyle grown up? And she said no. He
then asked Lindsay and Sierra on Watch What Happens Live, and Lindsay goes, I think he's trying. He's apparently in therapy.
Yeah.
And Sierra goes, what did Amanda say? Like, she's like, no. So
this is short.
I think it's just, if Kyle would listen, Amanda actually doesn't really want to hang out with him that much. He just has to not like go out in a respectful way. So like, don't flirt with women, don't cheat on her, answer the phone, come home at a reasonable hour.
And don't wake her up. Okay,
before the sun's up.
I think they should sleep in different rooms. If they had an extra room.
I do too.
I think that like, imagine Sierra, Paige, and Amanda in that double bedroom. That would give Amanda the option to sleep in that room and not have Kyle wake her up.
Because Kyle's going to wake her up. We already know. And he does. Anyway, so it's 11:16 p.m. Boys and Gabby are out of here. Bailey and Lexi don't go anywhere, which, again, I'm disappointed in them. But Bailey's like, yo, Lexi, Jesse's in love with you. And Lexi's like, Jesse's really cute and funny, but he asked me about being ditzy. They also clean up, which is like fun. Anyway, Paige then talks about like, okay, 6 years ago when she joined the Summer House cast, she was very like, I'm excited to date someone and then get married and have a baby. And she thinks she had rose-colored glasses on at that point, which I think we all did. She did want to have a baby by 30, but she also used to use a tanning bed. So like, our frontal lobes weren't fully developed.
Very good point.
And now that she's in a situation where she can basically get married and have a baby at any time with Craig, she doesn't really want that.
Which I didn't think we were going to get this version of Paige this early. Like, we know that they've broken up. She has said, a lot of the cast has said, just watch Summer House. And we already see earlier in the episode when Lindsay announces she's pregnant, Paige saying, yep, I know I don't want a kid, like with that type of announcement, that she's grown up. She's realizing this isn't necessarily like what she wants at this time. I'm kind of shocked that it's this early into the season that we're seeing these comments.
Not, because Lindsay announcing she's pregnant makes you think like, oh, what about if I was pregnant?
Always been, or I guess maybe it's the editing of it. Like, it hasn't been so overt of Paige talking about this stuff without Craig being around. Like, she'll say doubtful comments, but I don't think she has been as hard-lined as she is this year. And I think that's with growth. You slowly do learn what you want. But in the past, she's just like, not right now. And not that she was like leading Craig on. She didn't know what she wanted, but she is finally at a point this summer for sure where she's like, no, I do know that's not what I want.
Yeah. And I love that for her.
Me too.
Go off.
Me too.
Okay, so at 2:01 p.m., Kyle's home, and he, even in the front of the house, is like, mark the time. I'm home before everyone else. All those youngins. And he walks in. He immediately wakes up Amanda. He climbs in bed, hurts her. You hear her go, ow, ow, ow. And he's like, I love you. He's hammered. I love Kyle. So at 2:23 a.m., Wes and Jesse are back. They cannot believe Lindsay's pregnant. This is what they giggle about in their bed.
Hyped for these two to giggle and talk when they get home at night.
The new Giggly Squad. Giggly Squad 2.0, these two. Jesse, though, is down bad for Lexi. He's like, I can't stop thinking about her. And then I go, where's Gabby? And we see Gabby's empty little bed. So it's now Friday, July 5th at 8:24 a.m. and Gabby is home. And she's like, I'm not going to go see a hot international man who wants to sleep with me 30 minutes away. Yep. Good on you. I love an away game. Some of my favorite parts of the early season was like Carl sneaking in the morning. Like, I love it. I love.
And her saying like, we're going after international men. Fuck American men. I'm like, amen, fuck my queen. Amen.
Fuck them. Kyle, I don't know how, is up and he's like, I'm going to go to the gym. And I was like, ugh, he's built different. It's
because he got home
about Kyle.
He got home 2 hours earlier than normal. Like, he is refreshed. He's probably like, wow, this is incredible.
But still, my God. Good for him. Jesse wakes up and the first thought on his mind is Lexi. And I'm like, he's kind of annoying about it. No,
I agree.
Like, Wes is literally like, shut up, dude. And I was like, if he says Lexi one more time.
It's not like he's just like trying to get to know her and he's in front of her. He's doing all of this behind the scenes, like cannot talk about anything else. This is annoying, especially because Wes, I can't imagine being him and not being with someone. Like Wes did this last summer. He's like, I don't want to do this again. I'm not even looking at anybody, but now I have to do it through you.
Well, the other thing is Jesse doesn't actually like know her, right? Like Wes was like, yeah, Sierra's cool. Like last summer, he's like, I'm feeling her. Yeah. But he wasn't like sitting up and like, hey, Jesse, what do you think Sierra's thinking about right now? Should we go find him? Jesse's like, should we go wake up Lexi and Bailey? And Wes is like, no.
When he said that, when he's like, I wonder if she's awake. I wonder where she is. I was like, whoa, you are grossing me out more and more.
He also followed her at 4 a.m, which is like the least weird thing he's done so far. Which is shocking. Shocking.
It's a little bit of an ick. I would kind of be turned off if I've met you and at 4 a.m. when you're out, we live in the same house. We're going to talk later. You're following me.
Give me a little bit of a chase. Just like a little bit of a chase, just like, let me wonder if you like me.
9 a.m. the next morning could have been a little bit better. The end of the weekend is the best point.
Yes, that would be great. Anyway, they do breakfast and now it's time to go out by the pool. May I just say, the girl's beautiful. Why are they all so like tiny and hot with abs? I don't want to go to this house.
Really hard to watch them be so hot and they'll be laying on my couch like eating chips, being like,
it gives me my body complex for sure. Anyway, so Kyle is trying to make an effort to give Amanda what she needs, which is like her friend time. So he's just leaving her alone and not bothering her. So he's hanging out with the boys and Jesse's like, no, that's great. What do you think I should give Lexi? You think? God. And Wes is literally like, you need to stop. And he's like, Jesse's like, well, I'm not single either. And the boys are literally like,
it's too much.
Literally. The way Wes hit on Sierra last summer was hot. Yeah. It was fun, flirty, but like he wasn't weird. I don't know if Jesse, I get to like, Paige has made the joke, right? When Craig was like, do you want to come to Delaware? She was like, you're obsessed with me. You want to marry me? You want to, like, it's a fun little joke, but this is like bordering stalker.
This is like, you're going to murder me.
Yeah. And then like keep my body forever. It's weird. Anyway, so Jesse's like, I'm not going to say I'm in love.
Why are we even having this love discussion? Her. Like, what?
It's crazy.
It's going further and further. Red alarms are going off in my head. And also, I don't want to watch this all summer.
I'm bored. I already don't care if they get together or not. I don't care. Anyway, pregnant Lindsay is here in her little swimsuit. She's hot too. The fuck? I know. Anyway, Carl is also pulling up to the house at this time. And Carl's nervous. He doesn't want to go in the house. He goes in and brings packages in and then goes out and brings more packages in and then goes out. And then he starts talking to the producer off camera and he's like, I'm really nervous. And the producers are like, look, something terrible happened. It's very normal to be nervous, but like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? She drowns you in the pool. It's fine. You're gonna be good.
I would be nervous too. I would be so nervous.
I would too.
And they keep panning to that giant sonogram on the mantle.
Which is so funny. Comedy. So Carl knows she's pregnant because the post was obviously sent to him. And he says it's crazy because she knows that, and he knows that people are going to say she's been hiding it, which she has been because she knows what people are going to say. And I was like, just to clear up facts, just for like people who may not know, a lot of women don't announce pregnancies until after the first trimester.
Yeah.
Because it is very common to lose a pregnancy in the first trimester, especially for older women. Like, I'm not saying Lindsay's old, but like we've only really studied like
geriatric pregnancy.
For pregnancy, like 20 to 20 or 20 to like 28 is probably like your main years to have a for sure pregnancy. Yeah, after that, it does get a little dicier. It could be unsafe. So, like, a lot of women do wait to make sure the pregnancy sticks and, like, they don't want to announce it. And so I don't think she was necessarily hiding it for what people would say. I don't think Lindsay gives a fuck about what fans say.
I think if they were non-TV people, she would have told her close friends in this type of friend group at 3 months or the next time she saw them after she hit her third or her first trimester. And then because they are on a TV show, I think she is hiding it, quote unquote, for good TV. Like, this is good TV. They all hide things to put it on the show.
The way Kyle knows how to produce other people in the show, Lindsay knows how to produce herself. She doesn't. She knows this is going to get views. This is going to be fun to get everyone's reaction on camera. Like, we want this on TV. So she does
it. If she had announced it on like a podcast or her own Instagram and she just waltzes in to the house pregnant, I would have been like, oh, Lindsay's pregnant. Like, okay. Like, it wouldn't have gotten like a reaction like this had.
Yeah. So Carl does have mixed emotions. He's like happy for her because he knows this is what she wanted, but obviously it's like incredibly awkward, which that's all fair. It's a weird situation.
Yeah.
So Carl comes in, he finds Jesse and Lexi in the kitchen. He's like, hey, what's up? And then Jesse's like, this is love of my life, Lexi. And Carl's like,
God.
Okay.
My God. He just said he wasn't going to say, like, I love you, which he didn't say love you, but you said her and love together. No.
Love of my life. Anyway, Jesse's like, come out. Everyone's in the back. And Carl's like, I'm going to go pee for it. You know, it's a nervous pee. He's like, I'm going to go pee
I've been driving for so long.
So,
like, just give me a minute.
He goes to the bathroom. And then, honestly, I also think he's like hyping himself up, right? He's probably like, it's okay. It's fine. It's like,
I was expecting some audio of him in the bathroom being like, we got this.
Just breathe. Just breathe. But Jesse goes out and he's like, Carl's here. And everyone's like, okay. I would be, listen, if I was like Sierra or Paige, someone like not even Amanda, because Amanda's like close with Kyle and Carl. Like, that's a little messy. If I was Paige, Amanda, I got low skin in this game. I'm sitting back because not even Lexi and like Bailey understand like the gravity. Like Wes, Jesse, Sierra, and Paige, they have nothing. They are equally friends with both in a way. They are just sitting back. Even Gabby's on the side. Those four, that's who I want to be.
Agreed. I'm looking at all their faces.
So
I'm putting my sunglasses on so you can't see exactly what I'm looking at, but I need to be positioned. I would move to make sure I could see what's going on between the four of them.
Same. Paige is floating in the pool, which I think is not prime real estate, because if she turns in that floaty, no. I have to be ready to get all angles.
Yeah, that floaty could work against you, and then you look like an idiot trying to like kick,
trying back, try to like see everyone like you're turning back. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the episode. Next episode, we'll see Carl and Lindsay come face to face, which we're so excited about.
Oh, man.
But just what's coming up this summer on Summer House, we got parties, costumes, kissing. Lexi wants to make her and Jesse exclusive, which he seems down for. This man's love of his life right here. Imral is here. He seems like he loves sex. And honestly, I'm here for it. There's not enough random sex in this house.
Agreed.
Do it. Do it and stop covering the cameras. Just give it to us.
You can cover the cameras as long as you do it.
I know you have to. Carl hasn't had sex for a year, but he gives Lemur energy, which is such an ick, but okay. Lindsay is pissed at Carl because he, quote, cheated. So she goes right in for the kill. And he says, Lindsay, I pray for you, which that comment is worse than Lexi gives me wood. That, if someone told me they pray for me, I'd be like, don't have me in your thoughts and prayers.
I would just have to get up and leave.
Keep them. Craig is giving hater energy and Sierra's not here for it. Paige says her and Craig are going to break up. Jesse flirts with Sierra and Lexi comes for Sierra. Ooh. I'm going to fight this Lexi girl. Craig and Kyle fight, probably over the spritz.
Yeah, 100%.
But can we just say, though, at the end of the day, isn't spritz, like, not great?
In the drink, like, actual drink, or the people?
I think the people.
Yeah, the people, terrible. It's the morning toast people. I've never had the drink, so I can't comment on that.
I haven't either. I will say, though, Craig is not great either, so Kyle dodged a bullet on that one. But Kyle is a DJ, Diplo, if you will, and Kyle and Paige get into it, which is where I'm coming with my fist too. I'm so pumped for that argument. And then we pick up cameras, like almost where we are right now.
That's what I was going to say. I was shocked to see the whole cheating rumors. Like I had heard rumors that they had picked up cameras, but I didn't think very recently, as in last month.
I thought it would be Southern Charm cameras and not Summer House cameras, but they pick up cameras, I think with the Craig and Paige breakup, and Paige saying something along the lines of she caught Craig texting other girls, and you know who's there? Amanda and Lindsay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's going to be my favorite scene. I already know it. I love when my two strong girls, I told you, if these two are ever on the same team, they're unbeatable.
I'm excited. And Lindsay was like raging about Craig on Watch What Happens, like an appropriate amount on Watch What Happens Live last night.
Can we talk a little about Watch What Happens Live?
Yes.
Because we talked about a lot. So they did bring up Craig and Paige, obviously. Sierra's very mad that Craig didn't say anything about the cheating rumors. Because, yeah, he has the power to, like, shut it down. And they were in love for, like, 3 years. And you're not going to, like, stick up for your person.
I saw a video that said, like, Paige, the way she released it on Giggly Squad was her trying to be kind and not make this a media storm, which I respect because you have two very passionate, like some of it crosses over, but you have very passionate Bravo fans who want to know everything. I think she was trying to give them an answer without giving them many details. They could both save face on things and
without
just move
throwing
forward.
Craig under the bus.
Or even like herself for not wanting it. Like that crushes an audience. I get that. And then not embarrass Craig for like, he was the one who was broken up with. Like, let's just mutually part ways and like not make this a circus. But it became a circus inevitably. And why wouldn't you just say one comment? She's not saying every day you have to get on TikTok and give a, oh my God, Paige is an amazing person. She was an amazing girlfriend video. One time, just say, hey, I'm seeing all this stuff. Didn't happen. I'm clearing the air. This is the last time I'm commenting on. Type video.
Yeah, I saw that. And Lindsay too was like, we fucking know Craig. He's such a bitch. He's trying to be the scorned man, like, because it is unfortunate that as much as Bravo supports women, I feel like Paige and Craig, their relationship reached a wider audience than let's say like a Ariana Sandoval type. So there are a lot of outside, not super Bravo fans giving a comment about how much they hate Paige.
Yep.
Which is not how I think the majority of the Bravo fandom feels. You don't have to pick a side. Like, breakups, you really don't have to pick a side.
It's not black and white on every single front. Like, if you're trying to make just the breakup a black and white thing and assign blame, like, that's so weird to me.
The problem is, I think, a lot of people, because of the cast Craig has, he is seen as the golden boy on that cast because Southern Charm men suck. There's not a better one than Craig. But Craig's also a terrible average man, to be honest. And so I think a lot of people are like, oh, we love Craig. We love Craig. I also think a lot of people just got into Southern Charm because of, like, they saw Paige and Craig were dating and they're like, let's jump in. So they don't know the old stuff. Like, I know a lot of people who are like, I just watched the last 2 seasons. And I'm like, no. You don't know Craig. The way I know Craig. You don't know Craig. And even Sierra's like, Bravo has a whole fucking thing of him lying. Like a whole montage. So I think a lot of people are like, we pick Craig. And it's like, no. Why are you anti a woman having a choice in what she wants to do?
And that didn't align. Like, we don't need to pick a side. They are on separate shows. Like, we can watch both their shows and like them individually on each of their shows.
With that being said, I've always liked Paige better. So as long as my girl's happy, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
This is my new barometer.
Because we watched.
I saw somebody say, like, the halftime show is the new check mark for, like, who you voted for. And this breakup and how people are reacting is my barometer for how misogynistic you are.
Yeah, can we just say it, too? Like, Craig's obviously pretty MAGA. No?
Well, not on voting. Their breakup is not about voting for me, like who you voted for.
No. But I think Craig is kind of MAGA, which makes me like not like him even more.
I don't know. I try not to decide who people voted for just from a TV show because it's just such a small part of people's life.
Very true. Me judging. But yeah, I mean, agreed. If you pick Craig, you don't want women to have like rights to choose what they want to do. You want all women to have
how
kids.
People are like hating on her social media, like her commenting that she's a cheater because she's seen holding hands with somebody at the Super Bowl. Like what? Like people are trying to timeline this out. Yeah, and like
she's single.
Do you know how many boys I've kissed and held hands with that I've never dated and didn't know like prior to that even day? Like, why is holding hands a marriage ceremony right now?
I can't let Paige doesn't need to have kids and get married to be happy.
Just let
Sorry,
her
that's what Craig wanted. I didn't break up. Anyway, also Lindsay, favorite thing on Watch What Happens Live. Andy's like, you worried about Craig or are you worried about Carl coming into the house? And she's like, no. Couldn't care less.
Not.
He's nervous. Didn't even know. Have no concern for this man.
I want that. I love that energy from her.
I also love that it was Lindsay and Sierra. I think that's a good pairing. I think the two of them complement each other. 2 strong, independent women.
Speaking of divorce, like being between divorced like castmates, like I needed this. This helped heal a wound of that like wine glass like shatter across the world.
All over a Southern Charm, man. Yeah. Women are just stronger together than fighting over a man.
You know what?
Just saying it.
Fuck those Southern Charm men. Really. I forgot that was over Austin.
It was over. She threw a glass at Danielle that was defending Lindsay over Austin.
A really low moment.
Truly over a white man. Anyway. Should we do fun, not fun? Should we pick who was our most fun of the episode and most not fun?
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Which one? Yeah, let's do not fun.
Not fun. I am giving it to Jessie. I can't do this.
Me too. It's Jessie.
I'm so uncomfortable.
It was too much. I thought we would stop at the wood comment, but
and I would have given him one other moment. You know, I could have looked past another moment. But the last thing, the nail in the coffin was, this is the love of my life? No.
That was crazy. And honestly, Lexi, no offense, was kind of up there for me from the horoscope, but I don't know her well enough. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Good point.
So I got to give it to...
I'm not in love with her. I'm not
what's his name?
Yet.
Jesse.
I don't know where other people are, but not for me at this moment. She's fine.
She's fine. Well, who was your fun? It's not going to be Lexi.
You go
Lexi's
first
our fine for the episode.
I think I know who you're going to pick, and I want to pick somebody different.
No, do you know? What if I disappoint you? I'm picking Lindsay. Yeah. She's my girl. She's pregnant. I'm so happy for her. I loved, if I had to sit through it, I would have honestly debated how fast to kill myself. I loved our throwback through all her men.
Yeah, if I was sitting through it, you would have found me chugging my drink, walking to the kitchen, filling my drink up more.
Getting another one. The thing is, though, if she could have just made a PowerPoint to re-show all these clips, I would have been sad.
She has PowerPoint trauma. Like, remember when Stravy sent her?
That's Stravy. But I loved it. I loved reliving Payton. I loved reliving Everett. I loved reliving. Well, I hate Everett, but not really. I loved reliving the Sandwich Gate and Carl the first time. That was hilarious.
No.
And congrats on your baby, girl.
Hip hip hooray.
Happy for you. All right, who you picking?
Because I knew Lindsay needed to be picked. I needed you to pick her because I, as a...
You don't want to pick her?
No. I would pick her, but I also want to pick someone else.
Okay, yeah.
Shout out to Lindsay. Agree with your pick. Sierra, my girl. Like,
that was my second.
The way she is showing up and just like, nope to West.
No.
And when he like tries to grab her plate and she's like, I'm gonna put my dick on this table and be like, you're a loser. All this energy, Sierra, please.
Those are my top two. And they looked amazing on Watch What Happens Live. They did a great job. Yeah, good. Go for the girls. We're having a hot girl summer. It's Brett. Yes. Technically, this is Brat summer. This was filmed over Brat summer. So,
and you know
we're
what?
having Brat summer.
Sierra and Kendrick Lamar are telling me that I'm not hating enough. I need to put more energy into being a hater.
No, truly. For Williams too, or Serena Williams. Sorry, I got it wrong. No, Serena Williams, hater. I love it.
Love.
Right over. Crip walking right over Drake's grave.
Well, and getting justice for being like penalized for crip walking on like one of the biggest stages, the Olympic stage.
No, terrible.
Insane.
So rock out. We're not hating enough. Specifically, we're not hating men enough. So let's do it.
We're dancing on graves this year.
Men's graves. In this episode, we're dancing on Jesse's grave. Goodbye. Anyway, do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. We will be back covering this whole season of Summer House. Also, if you like us, please be sure to rate and review us and maybe subscribe if you're into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for being on this journey with us. We're so excited.
Is back, baby. Thanks for
joining. Summer is fun.
Bye.